Welcome back to Destiny 2. It's been a hot minute since I last played this game. In fact, it was September 2018 the last time that I touched it. And what you're seeing here is gameplay on a next-gen console, PlayStation 5 at 4K, 60 frames per second. And as you can see, I think it's looking really good on next-gen. And the console players can finally get an FOV slider on the next-gen consoles, which I think is just an absolute necessity for FPS games nowadays. And something else that we've talked about recently, the Crucible, which is the PvP mode, you've got the option there to go 120 FPS if you like. I don't really play the PvP, but for those that do, it's cool to have that feature now. So today we'll be looking at the new paid DLC called Beyond Light. Before we get into the details, I have to say a big thank you to Bungie for sponsoring this video. The standard edition of the new DLC will be 25% off on PC and PlayStation all the way up to the 5th of January. And if you're interested in checking that out for yourself, there's a link down in the description below. So what is Beyond Light then? Well, I thought that I could use this as a good jumping back in point for Destiny 2, because I think that a lot of this is aimed at new players, completely new players, or players that stopped playing like I did and want to jump back in and try the game out again. So there's a revamped starting area, although it is in the Cosmodrome, which if any of you guys played Destiny 1, you'll know that was the starting area of that game, but they've changed it up a bit, made it a bit more beginner friendly, I would say. But the meat and bones of what we're looking at today is the Beyond Light DLC, and this is a new chapter in the story, I suppose, which marks a new trilogy for the game. I feel like they're wiping the slate clean in a lot of respects, and it comes with a brand new story campaign and a new planet Europa, which you've been seeing in this video. It's an Arctic tundra, and it comes with a new strike, which we'll look at in the next video, a new raid, and loads of new activities. At the time of making this video, I haven't quite got the correct level to do the raid, but it might be something that we look into in the future if I can get a good team together, because if you've played any of the Destiny raids, you know how tricky they can be, and you really need a decent team who are geared up and communicative and just know what they're doing generally. So I might do some coverage of the raid in the future, we'll see. Now this mission, I'd say, is about halfway through the story campaign, and we've been tasked to go into this underground installation and take out a guy called Praxis and steal a shard of darkness from him. And this all relates to the new power in the game, which they're calling Stasis. It's essentially ice. It's ice powers, and much more involved with crowd control rather than directly attacking people, because when you get this power, you can throw these sick ice axes around everywhere that ricochet, but you can also throw grenades down that turn the enemies into ice and also create a physical barrier against them. And this level in particular really caught my eye, and I wanted to show it in this video because this place just looks awesome. In Destiny 2, there's some gorgeous environments, and it's so full of detail, and they look like vast places that you can just get lost in, and you feel that sense of scale. You feel small as you're exploring these environments. In terms of my character, I did have my Guardian from PC because the game's got cross-save now, but I wanted to experience it as a new player, so I just made a new hunter. And as you can see, I've gone down the Void subclass just because the Void blades are so cool. Mincing through all the mobs here never gets old. But it is kind of neat though, if you have an older character and you haven't played for a while, if you want that back, you can import it and keep playing from there. Regarding the minute-to-minute gameplay, it's not really changed that much since I went away and stopped playing. Destiny is and always will be a looter shooter where the ultimate goal is to level up your character, improve your stats by doing the story, doing the strikes, doing the patrols, getting your stats up as much as possible to eventually have a crack at completing the raid with your friends. And the raid is usually the most exciting and interesting content from whatever is the latest DLC. And as I said, I haven't done the raid yet, so I can't comment on it, and I didn't want to spoil myself, but from the initial impressions that I've read and seen online, it does appear to be quite fun and also not bad for beginners either, so I'm looking forward to doing it. But like I said, in terms of the core gameplay, it's very similar to that initial Destiny 2 experience. But keep in mind that they have removed a lot of older content from the game too, so not everything that was playable before will be available now. This area is super cool, going up all the different levels. Love a bit of verticality in my gameplay. And you got to watch out for those mines as well. I also like swords. The purple sword's so good. You can just do the normal light attack with R1, but if you press R2 it does a swirly whirly AoE attack that's just pretty devastating. And here's my potato console controller aim in action for all you guys to see. I do want to play more on console though next year, just so I can try and get better with controller. I used to be pretty decent, but I just barely play on controller anymore, so time has taken its toll. And this is the boss room. Dude flies in here like Green Goblin. Check this out. There he is, the absolute mad lad, Praxis. Opened up with a grenade. Just trying to hit him in the head as many times as possible there. And he's got this huge flat cannon thing. But he also spawns a load of ads, and he throws ice bombs at you, or stasis bombs I suppose they are. And if you get caught in them, you have to break free. I popped the super there just to get as much damage as I could. And he's got immune. That's the first stage of the boss. Finishing off the ads there. And I couldn't figure out what to do here. I was like, how am I going to defeat this guy? Like, every time I shoot him, he's not taking any damage. And then I found these things in the sky. And these are his portable shield generators. And on the first stage, there's only 2 of them. You just take those out and then you can start damaging them again. More sword action here. That's the swirly whirly that I was talking about. So satisfying. And you can play through the story with friends as well. Having to dodge out of the way there. But Tommy and Bonk, who I played the strikes with for the next video, they'd already played through the story. I didn't want to bother them. So I did do it solo. You can do it solo if you want. It's a bit tricky though. I have to admit, during the story I came up on a couple of bosses that I died on where they didn't have respawns. I just had to keep doing them. That's the freeze there. Mr. Freeze. But there's a few more stages where he spawns the shield generators and you have to keep taking them out. And then at the end, you get the stasis power. And it regenerates your super really quick. So you can just keep using that new power. Throwing ice axes at this dude. It's a bit of a grind, but eventually we take him out. There it is. Mission complete. I'll get the Shard of Darkness there. And as I said, this is kind of halfway through the story. I didn't want to put any cutscenes or really spoil anything major, so I left it out. But there it is. That's an initial dipping my toe back into Destiny 2. What do you guys think? Let me know. Have you played the recent update? And what did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Once again, a massive thanks to Bungie for sponsoring this one. Like I said, they do have that sale on the new DLC up until the 5th of January. Link is below if you want to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.